Long weekend, yes, Labour weekend, so we want you to be especially vigil, take an extra special vigil on the roads this weekend, will you? We want you to come home safely. Joining us, coming out of British Columbia, yes, one of the finalists and the nominees for the British Columbia Country Music Awards, and it's the 42nd awards back. That is Jesse Burch from the ROLLIN TRAINWRECK. He's going to be joining us right after these messages.
Shine Saints, you're listening to DJ Grand at 107.
Jesse, through this I'm going to ask you a number of questions that the fans have asked us to ask you, namely things like how do we get in touch with you, are you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the big question in there is, do you respond? Because this is your modern day database these days, your fan base,
right?
You know, so they kind of like to take ownership and say, yes, I'm a friend of Jesse Burch's and he talks to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I will ask you that. At the same time, I'll ask you about websites, how we can get hold of your music, how we can buy your music. I always direct our fans to go and buy music. It's hard for an artist these days. We need some monetary gratification back. So I direct people that way. And on your websites or anything like that, do you have a merch store so that we can plug a bit of merch as well for you?
We have we don't have an actual merch store, but we do if you request something through the website, the ROLLINTRAINWRECK.com website, we usually send stuff out that way.
Nice. So I'll cover all of that for you, my friend, because believe me, I really love the idea that if we can lend a hand, actually sell some product for you, that's awesome. You know what I mean?
Sure. 100%.
At the same time, I'm going to follow you guys through the weekend. I really am. A good friend of mine, Curtis Pope's going to be doing a lot of work with us through the weekend. So, I'm looking forward to seeing you and Phil picking up an award. I really am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Must
me too.
Must be fun hanging out with a bunch of Phils.
Well, I definitely get my fill.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's go to the desk.
Yeah.
Now let me know if you can hear this. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107fm. It is 6 after 11 o'clock, 18 degrees, that's our high. I knew we were going to get there, but believe me, I think we're going to get a lot higher, yeah. It is Friday, October 19th, and I'm joined by what I think is going to be a legend in the game, to be very, very honest with you. And coming into the 42nd British Columbia Country Music Awards is Jesse Burch from the Rolling Trainwreck. Good morning, good afternoon over there, Jesse.
Good afternoon, good morning to you. How are you guys doing? Thanks for having me on.
It is an absolute pleasure to talk to you, my friend. We've been following you now for some time, and we actually first heard your name mentioned by Chris Buck, somebody that you used to play with.
Correct, yeah. I did a little, I did a summer tour with Chris a couple years ago, and made some good friends and had some good times and seen a lot of countryside, so it was good. It was a good experience.
Well, I got to let you know that I was talking to Chris Buck, maybe about a week ago, would you believe, we were releasing his song Rednecking, and I did mention to him off air that I was going to be doing an interview with you, my friend, and he wishes you all the best. Yeah, and I know you're going to catch up with him this weekend at the BCCMAs. Now, what's your chances? You've got 11 different categories that you're going to be appearing in, basically, and nominated for. How many do you have a trailer? Are you going to take it out or what?
Well, you know, at the end of the day, I'm just like super happy and honored to be nominated and to be at the awards show and, you know, have be recognized, and that's it, right? Because there's so much talent out there, and there's so many people that deserve to be there, and everybody deserves an award at the end of the day because they put so much hard work into it, right? So, but I'm just happy to be there, and if I bring home a little hardware, I'm not going to be sad about it.
You know, I can fully understand where you're coming from, and that's a damn good answer. I've got to be honest with you. It really, really is. Now, we ask our fans for some questions to be able to put forward to you, if you know what I mean. We want to know what our fans think of you. And one particular email asked me how you got your name. Now, I've already got that answer right here. And believe me, I love the idea of naming yourself and naming this particular young lady a bit of a train wreck. It must have been one hell of a party. But I've done...
I'm not going to say any names, but I had referred to a friend of mine a couple years ago. Actually, well, probably a few years ago now. She liked to have a few drinks now and again and go down the town. And one particular night, I saw her walking down this alley, and she kept bouncing off the wall. And she kept bouncing off the walls down on these buildings. And I said, you know, man, you're such a train wreck. And then I thought to myself, you're not a train wreck because train wrecks have stopped and blown apart. I said, you're a train wreck that keeps moving. You're a rolling train wreck. And I had a good laugh about that. And I always kind of thought to myself, like, that would be a good name for a band. And then when I hooked up with the guys in the Rolling Trainwreck, the name fit. The name fit really well. So we used it, and people seem to really like it. So.
You know, I absolutely agree with you. We love the name Rolling Trainwreck here at Galaxy. And sometimes through life, maybe, we all have a friend like that, if you know what I mean. Mine, would you believe, her name was Guitar. Guitar, yeah, absolutely, because she kept throwing pillows at me one day and it just went guitar, but she was in pretty much the same inebriated state, if you know what I mean. So some friends of mine actually put a band together and called it Guitar after her, so I can see where it comes applicable. I really, really can. Got to say hi to Phil Puxley. He's your banjo player. Now, you know, I always know how to paddle faster when I hear a good banjo. I know that right away. But secondly, we've got to say hi to Phil Bell, your bass player. So you're quite filled out right now.
Yeah, I have my fill.
You really, really do. Now,
I got my fill. Yeah.
I know that we're set for a little time constraint here. You're a very, very busy man, and I can appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us today. But tell me about Already Gone, because we're getting quite a few requests for this, and we want to know how you came to the lyrics. Where did you get it produced? Where was it recorded?
That we recorded that at a couple different places. Couple places in Vancouver, one called The Warehouse and one called Afterlife Studio, and then we did some work at Greenhouse, so it was kind of a combination. That song, that was our first single that we released to radio, and they did spin it on our local station here, JRFM, which was good, and it was on the Hot or Not, and it was like 98% hot, which was good, so we were pretty happy with that. That song, that was kind of written, I like telling stories, right? I like having songs. I try to write songs with content and with stories. And I feel that I really like that song lyrically. It's one of my favorite songs because it tells a story about, obviously, about love and all the rest of the components we always like singing about. And but you're in a constant state of searching, and you're always looking for something, and you're just out of grass, right? And it's already gone. Every time you think you're getting close, it's already gone. So, and that particular song is about a relationship and a woman, obviously, but nobody in particular. Just a song. But I like that one. That's one of my favorite.
Well, I got to be honest with you. It seems that the fans will like that one as well. That's why we opened up the show with that particular track, because we are getting quite a bit of requests for it, to be very honest with you. And at the same time, we were talking about the BCCMAs, but you're no stranger to the BCCMAs. You've already been a recipient of an award previously. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so last year the Rolling Trainwreck received the New Horizon Award, 2017. So that was, aside from maybe Guitar Player of the Year, that's my favorite award because it kind of it's a hopeful award. You get recognized for the work you're doing, and you're also getting recognized for the work that you can potentially achieve, right? So that's I was really honored to get that award. We were really happy. So, and I can't remember what we were nominated for last year. Maybe another one or two more, but we picked that one up, and I'm pretty happy about that. So we can't win it again. But yeah, so that was good. And I've been part of the BCCMA for several years, and I was in a different project that I released a single as well, and it got some recognition as well. But then I kind of morphed into some other projects, and now it's the Trainwreck. So we're doing well, and we're pretty happy.
Exactly, and I think this year you're going to definitely take out Entertainers of the Year, to be quite honest. But you could still got some stiff competition. Let's not forget that you've got the Washboard Union in there, inducted into the Hall of Fame just a couple of months ago. And Dave and the boys are very good friends of ours here, so there was no surprise to see that. What is a surprise, I've got to be honest with you, is that the Road Hammers haven't gone in for the BCCs this year. I thought they would have, but that leaves room for talented artists like yourself now, doesn't it?
It does, and at the end of the day, I kind of feel that you get to a certain level, and your career is at a certain level, and you have to kind of maybe let other people come up too, right? And you can't have the same guys winning over and over again, and I just feel that it leaves a little bit of room for people to move up, and a little bit of it just keeps people inspired, right? That they potentially could get their name up on the big screen and get recognized for the work they do too. So it's all good. It's all good, right?
Absolutely, and believe me, I was talking to Clayton Bellamy from the Road Hammers, and I think he was pretty much in the same sentiments as what you've just said there, to be quite honest. So always nice to have somebody who has been recognised and is in the game move aside a little bit and let some young blood come through, much like yourselves. And believe me, I know you guys are just going to ace it everywhere through the BCC EMAs. Now, I want to talk to you about Getting Loaded. Tell me all about it.
Well, that song was written on the road. That song was written on the road when probably in and around the time where I was just coming off tour with Chris. And I think that was actually the very first that's not true. That was the second Trainwreck song that we had written. And it's a party tune. It's got a really kind of super dancey banjo line, and it's just happy. And for some reason, just like getting loaded, that little catchphrase in there, it fits so well, right? It's such a happy song, and it's not like we're trying to promote getting loaded, but I mean it's a fun song.
You know something. I was happy with "Let's Get Loaded" because it kind of suits my personality as well. I like getting loaded. I got to be honest with you, but I get loaded where it's not going to harm anybody or do anybody any injuries at all, and there's good music surrounding me. So I absolutely love this track, ladies and gentlemen. Here is Jesse Burch and the Rolling Trainwreck, Getting Loaded. Okay, Bob. How you doing?
Good.
Cool.
Hi Ryan. Hi Robert Gillies.
Ryan.
And Harley. How are you?
Nice to have you guys along. Robert, hey, please pass on to your lovely wife, Lynette, such a thank you for her review on our Galaxy Artist page on Facebook. Thank you, Robert. Jesse's gone to go and get some water.
Here he is. He's back again.
He's back again.
I'm back.
You're back. Yeah, I was going to say, are you comfortable there, my friend?
Yeah, this is good. Yeah.
Nice. You sure that's water?
Yeah, definitely not getting loaded at the moment.
Oh, okay, fair enough too. But I always like to find any excuse at any time to do that.
I've got a big weekend ahead of me, so I've got to stay on an even keel.
Exactly. Yes, absolutely.
For now.
And I fully understand. So the next song we have is Heartbreak Train, and believe me, we're getting a huge amount of requests for Heartbreak Train. We really are. And you know something, I'm an engineer. I have been for 30 plus, almost 40 years, and I don't listen to music as a fan would listen to it. I listen to it as an engineer would. And instantly, as soon as I heard the Trainwreck music, I was sold. I loved it. I can't fault it. I really can't. And believe me, in my position, I actually look for faults. I really do. So because we get so many bands and so many that want requests, I need an excuse to be able to trim it down a bit. Seriously, bro, this is why we're doing this. You're such a great band, you know. So.
Cool, awesome. I appreciate that. And you know, we try to record like as organically as we can, like that.
Hold on, bro. We've got to cut it. Sorry, man. Hey? That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and I'm joined by Jesse Burch, coming out of the Rolling Trainwreck, and of course nominated for the 42nd British Columbia Country Music Awards, 11 different categories. You have Jesse Burch with us right now, and believe me, Jesse, it is an absolute pleasure to have you with us this morning, and we're trying to condense this as much as possible. We really are. But one of the more favoured questions that I get for you, my friend, is now, are you on Instagram? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Facebook? And when our fans get hold of you, do you respond?
Yes, of course. We're on all the platforms, Instagram, ROLLINTRAINWRECK.com, Facebook. Music, you can find it on iTunes, Spotify, If you message our Instagram or ROLLINTRAINWRECK.com, we'll respond with you as soon as we can. 100%.
Very, very cool. Now, at the same time, what if fans want to be able to try and purchase some of your merch? How do we get a hold of you to do that?
Yeah, same thing with ROLLINTRAINWRECK.com. You can go on there. We have all our merch on there. You can check it out and then make a request. We can send it out to you and help you out as quickly as we can.
Nice, nice. Now, I was talking to a band out of Illinois a couple of days ago. They were called the Hollow Boys. They picked up an award, the Jesse Awards. Now, I have a feeling there's somebody else there with you, Jesse. Am I being watched by somebody that I should know about?
No, well, like in the room at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, but my wife Noelle is milling around, getting ready for work.
Don't be shy. Introduce us to your good, lovely lady.
Would you like to come over and say hello? You're being requested. She might have to put some clothes on.
No, she doesn't. She's fine the way she is. I'll take that any day.
I don't think so. Why don't you come over and say hello? She's not coming over.
Oh my goodness, I absolutely love that. When she's decent, I would love to be able to say hello. Absolutely.
Okay.
From you. Right, yeah. Oh my goodness. Jesse, you're a man after my own heart. I've got to be honest with you. Absolutely brilliant. Now, I've even lost my train of thought right now. But at the same time, we love to be able to play your music here at Galaxy. Now, one of the questions is, and literally, I think this might be a valid question, to be very honest with you, because Barbara, not only being my PA and working through Galaxy, she manages Aurora Entertainments as well, which brings bands from overseas here down under in New Zealand. Would you be interested in considering maybe bringing the Rolling Trainwreck for a few shows here in New Zealand? Audiences would love to see you.
100%. The bags are already packed and sitting by the door.
Nice, nice. Because believe me, I know that Barbara has been talking to me about this for some time now. I think she's been a friend of yours on Facebook for, a couple of years maybe. And we've been following you through that period. So we kind of feel we would love to be able to put together a show where we can bring you and showcase your talents to New Zealand audiences. And I kind of would maybe ask you, are you up with doing some crazy stuff while you're down here?
Well, I mean, it depends what you have in mind. Give me a scenario.
Okay, now here's a good one for you, because we do this to every band that comes into the country. Have you ever heard of a hoo-hoo grub?
Of a hoo-hoo gram?
Grub.
No.
Okay, now I usually talk to Americans about this, and their version of hoo-hoo is completely different to my version. In fact, I like their version, to be quite honest with you. But the thing is, you must have heard of a caterpillar, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well this is a caterpillar on steroids. It's like a double-decker bus to a poodle, if you want to put it like that. It's big, it's white, it's got a black head, and you put the live body in your mouth, bite off the head, don't eat the head, it's yucky. But when you crunch down on this, it's like eating creamy peanut butter.
Okay. So is this one of the things that you have lined up?
Absolutely, absolutely. We have a thing called wild foods here in New Zealand, and the Indigenous folks will teach you a little thing or two about our wild foods, and not only that, about our wonderful country as well. It is such a picturesque country. We absolutely are very proud of our clean, green way of life here in New Zealand, but at the same time, my friend, we may take you down the bottom of the South Island, because we're basically three islands, the Stewart Island, South Island, and the North where we are. And I don't know, Barbara, what do you reckon? Well, throw you off a bridge.
Yep.
As long as it's not a long fall, yes.
Well,
do I have to have the caterpillar in my mouth at the same time?
Now, there's something I haven't considered before, actually. That's quite interesting. I might actually hold you. Yeah, you got to wonder, though, my friend. Let's just go back to the hoo-hoo grubs. About the person that's handing you a bowl of these live things expecting you to eat them. You got to wonder about that person, don't you think?
I agree. I would probably be skeptical of an individual with a bowl of caterpillars.
Okay, well, I'll make sure that I'm the person handing it to you then. You can wonder all you like. But at the same time, we do have a thing here, Jesse, called bungee jumping, and we do like to get out and do a few, a little freaky, a little different kind of sports, if you know what I mean. So I'll get Barbara to send you some information about that, some videos of it, of what we do. And believe me, you'll either say yes or no, but what the hell. We could even throw you out of a perfectly good aeroplane. I like parachuting and skydiving and bits like that as well.
Yeah. I like keeping my 2 feet on the ground. And, that's enough excitement for me.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, if you bring your good, lovely wife with you, we can take you out on one of the yachts that we have in the Hauraki Gulf, which is in the harbour of the biggest city we have of Auckland, maybe for a dinner restaurant or something like that. Nothing better than having a look at Auckland from the Gulf, out on the yachts.
Rod.
It is absolutely splendid, if you know what I mean. So maybe we could share a wine and a bit of a downtime doing something like that.
That sounds amazing.
Nice.
Amazing. Yeah.
Nice. Now, I want to know about Heartbreak Train. Tell me all about it. How did you come to the lyrics of that?
Heartbreak Train. Again, we kind of dig deep into. On that particular song, everybody kind of wrote their own verse. I think that I had kind of coined the Heartbreak Train was actually an idea I had for another song, and it kind of morphed into that. Heartbreak Train, like, you know, being on a train that is headed straight for the heartbreak, right? And that's kind of, and you know, the lyrics, waiting on your love in the evening, waiting on your love in the day, same sort of thing, right? It's something that you never achieve. Seems to be a common thread there with the songs, right? You're always trying to, in this particular case, you're on a train, heading for chaos, right? Or heading, you know, you never make the station, right?
Exactly,
Just keep
exactly.
going.
Now, I got to ask you though, there is so many connotations to trains in the name of your band and also in your music. You just quietly a closet choo-choo train driver or something.
Maybe, you never know. Maybe if music doesn't pan out, I'll go to school and become an engineer.
Yeah, exactly. Either that, or you've got one of the biggest train sets in your garage that I have never seen yet.
Oh, that's correct. Yeah, I don't show everybody that.
There you go. I wonder if it's a Hornsby, actually, because they are collector's items these days. But we better move on for you, my friend. Here is Jesse Burch and the Rolling Trainwreck with Heartbreak Train.
Waiting on your love in the evening.
It's hot up here,
We've got
brother.
Rod Henson on.
Rod Henson's on.
Watching. Hi, Rod.
Rod Henson, my friend. Well, you know, I want to talk to Rod Henson. I want an interview with that man.
Okay, well,
Rod,
did
if
you
you're
hear
listening,
that? Hang on.
if you're listening, Rod, I want an interview with you, my friend, because believe me, you're such a hugely interesting guy here, and we love you. We really, really do. So set that up with Barbara, will you, my friend? Please.
Hi, Philly D.
Philly D's there.
Yeah.
Nice. Welcome along, Philly. Are you comfortable there, Jesse?
Yeah, he's having a bit of a
Yeah,
jam.
yes, I'm doing well.
Nice, nice. Please apologise for my sense of humour with your lovely wife.
No, that's fine. She's just getting ready for work, so you didn't. She wasn't able to get on screen with you.
I fully understand. I really, really do. And hey, look, she would have to look at this face anyway, and I've got the perfect face for radio.
Well, there we go. and a really blurry screen on your iPhone.
Oh, okay. Maybe the cleaner hasn't cleaned the lenses properly. So I apologise about that. But no, hold on.
Yeah.
If it's blurry, no, I always look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just put the blurry filter on, right?
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's me in true life.
He can see this
Just the way
afterwards.
everybody looks out in New Zealand. A little bit distorted.
Yeah. Well, we're upside down, aren't we? We're down under.
Well, there you go.
The blood's rushed to our screens. Now, I've got one more song, which is Rolling Trainwreck. and
Okay.
we'll let you go. But Jesse, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I can't wait to do a bigger and better interview with you, especially for the Jesse Burch Band in the future. I absolutely can't wait.
Yeah, you bet. So, before we get started, I sent you some other songs too. Did you guys like that stuff?
Yes, we did. And
Yeah.
believe me,
Good.
production and Barbara, they fight all the time about stuff, but this one was a no-brainer.
Good. Awesome.
Brilliant. Let's go back to the desk. That's right, you're right here at galaxy107fm, joined of course by Jesse Burch, lead singer and absolutely talented man out of the Rolling Trainwreck, and believe me, it doesn't stop there. No, he's got his own band, Jesse Burch Band, that we're going to be doing an interview with a little later down the track, and I'm really looking forward to that. I really am. Now Jesse, at the same time, my friend, you're going to be hugely busy this weekend. Now tell me a little bit about this, because you're going to be performing with a whole heap of other artists in specialised shows.
Correct, yeah. So it actually starts tonight. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and that's full of showcases. So everybody gets an opportunity to play, whatever they want, if it's original or covers or whatever they do. And then Sunday is the final award show. Everybody goes there, and then we play the Trainwreck playing the main stage, along with probably another 10 artists, I think, through the night, something like that. Chris Buck is one of them, I believe. Kadu, I think, might be one of them as well. But so I'm looking forward to that, and then there's the big after party, the VIP party, which is always a blast, and I get to play that one too with my wife Noelle, actually. So we're playing together, and so it's going to be a full weekend of music and having fun, and it's always a fun time.
Well, I got to let you know, my friend, that I am absolutely jealous. I want to be there with you guys and experience the whole thing, the whole enchilada. I really do. But if you do run into anybody that we do know, like Chris Buck, Ben Click, Beamer Wiggly, Kadu Sauce, or any of those guys, please pass on the love for us, will you, my friend? Because we absolutely love each and every one of you. We can't choose winners, we really can't, because we love you all equally. We think you're all superstars in your own right, and making an inroad into the modern day music era. I really do believe that the Rolling Trainwreck and Jesse Burch has got a huge future ahead of him, and I know you're just going to clean up this weekend. I know it. I've got my money on you, my friend. I really do. Now, at the same time, we have time for one more song before we let you get on with your day. But after this, please don't go anywhere. I'm just going to do a couple of very quick things with you. But first of all, tell me all about Rollin Trainwreck, Rollin Trainwreck.
Well, I think Rollin Trainwreck was the very first song that was written by the Trainwreck, and that was written on the road. And so I think, I don't know if the band, we didn't really have a band at that time. It was me and Pugsley on the road, and that phrase that I had come up with, Rollin Trainwreck, was kind of absorbed into a song first, right? And that song is just about, it's about us. It's about the chaos on the road. It's about, we had so much fun, right? We had so much fun on the road and writing, but it is chaos, and you put a lot of hard miles behind you, and see a lot of people and see a lot of places, and that's kind of just, you kind of sum it up to, and obviously there's a lot of, partying, right? Partying on the road and stuff like that, and so if you can make it home, you can make it home without being too beat up, and too many casualties, then you're doing good. But while you're out there, you're a rolling train wreck, 100%.
I love that. I really, really do. That pretty much sums up my whole personality, to be quite honest. I think you and I are going to be dangerous when we get together down here, down under. But at the same time, my friend, I did actually wonder, I got to be honest with you, when I read about yourself and the two pills, I wasn't sure whether to call them Puxley or not, because I kind of felt that maybe I was doing a reference to, I don't know, Happy Days, if you know what I mean.
To which story? Say that again, sorry?
I sort of felt that I was making a reference to Happy Days, with Puxley out of Happy Days.
The Happy Days?
Yeah. They had a Puxley on there, remember?
That's right, yeah.
So I was a little bit shy about saying Puxley. I kind of preferred to call him Phil until you mentioned it, so now I've got away with it. I have. I've got that one in there, to be quite honest. So, without further ado, my friend, let's get this underway. Here is Jesse Burch, the Rolling Trainwreck, and Rolling Trainwreck. It's been a long time since
I've seen some of their funny clips, man. They're a funny lot.
These guys. Yeah. We've heard about all your funny clips, my friend.
About the what, sorry?
About some of your funny clips.
Some of the videos.
You guys are a laugh.
Yeah, you know what? We haven't done anything like that for a while. So I think we're gonna get back to doing some of those. That's kind of where the train wreck started too, right? Like doing these comical kind of, you don't really take yourself serious, but you do. Like you don't take yourself serious, but you take the music serious, right?
Absolutely.
And if you can combine those, yeah. And that's kind of where this whole train wreck thing came from. It's like we like playing music, we like being good at our craft, but at the end of the day, it's not about being famous. It's not about money. It's about proving your craft, right? And it's about the journey of music and enjoying what you play, right? And that's having it come from a real place, right? And when you write these songs and stuff, they come from somewhere. They're not just fabricated in a mill to kind of to do whatever, right? They're real stuff. It's real stuff, right? With real stories.
Absolutely, and I think that's what's making the connection with our fans, if you know what I mean. They can relate to your music. They really, really can. Let's go back to the desk. We'll wind this up right now, Murray, but don't go anywhere just yet, because I think Barbara's got just one more little thing to do after this.
Sure.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and of course I'm joined by Jesse Burch from the Rolling Trainwreck, and of course the 42nd British Columbia Country Music Awards is kicking off this evening actually over there, and 4 days of absolutely brilliant country celebration across the board. And I feel out of the 11 categories, at least there's a trailer load worth of awards right here for the Rolling Trainwreck. Jesse, it has been an absolute pleasure catching up with you, my friend, and looking forward to catching up with you in the very, very near future to be able to talk to you about Jesse Burch and the Jesse Burch Band, aside from the Rolling Trainwreck. But you are just going to have one kick-ass weekend. I know you are, and I'm very jealous about it.
Well, don't be jealous. I'll send you pictures at like 3 a.m. our time.
Do that. You do that, please, because believe me, I would be very, very interested in seeing a whole heap of stuff that's going on with the awards. Please, if you run into Linda or to Papey, of course the president and the vice president, please pass love on from us here at Galaxy as well. We couldn't do our job without you guys and without them promoting you and getting behind you and making the 42nd such a huge success. So Jesse, we know we don't have to wish you all the best. You're just going to clean it up.
Well, thanks for that, and thanks for having me on. Totally appreciate the support. And I'm glad you guys like the tunes, and we'll just keep writing and keep playing. We'll keep recording for you guys.
Please do that. And one more question just before you go. Now that winter is coming fastly upon you over there, are you looking at going back into the recording studio? Now, the reason why I ask that is any new work, how would you like to pass it through to us? We would love to be able to premiere it for you.
You bet. We're actually talking about a plan right now. We're going to release a single. We've got a couple that we were thinking of, so we're going into kind of pre-production in November, and then probably December, January, we're going to record it. So we'll have a new single in the new year, and we'll just keep on rolling. Nice.
I tell you what, keep plugging them down the line to us. We would love to be able to add it into the Rolling Trainwreck and or Jesse Burch, the Jesse Burch Band. We have both files available right now, and we are playing a lot of that. I am looking forward to catching up with you about the Jesse Burch Band in the near future, but at the same time, how would you, the next time you go into the recording studio, like to do me a couple of liners, a couple of stingers, maybe a voiceover or two, not only introducing yourself as the Rolling Trainwreck, but at the same time introducing some of your songs. Maybe Barbara can send you a couple of lines of what we do here that might be able to fit in so that we can keep the Rolling Trainwreck rolling here at Galaxy. Would that be all right with you?
You bet. We'll do that. Absolutely.
Nice. Thank you very much, Jesse. It has been a pleasure. I am so wanting to be in your shoes this weekend. I really, really am. And I know you're going to have a great time. Thank you for joining us here at Galaxy 107 FM.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, mate. Don't go anywhere just yet. We've got one more thing to do, but in the meantime, let's go back to Studio 2. Yeah, here it is. A little California.